Well, hello there. Hope you're having a great day. This is Coach Andrew Wuellner. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about stress and why you don't have enough of it in your life. More specifically, you probably have too much of the wrong kind of stress and not enough of the right kind of stress. So stress is an interesting thing, right? I could look up the definition and read it to you off the screen. You can do that yourself. But we basically understand stress to be a feeling that we get when we're under a lot of pressure, when we feel nervous, when we're in a tense situation that might involve fear or the possibility of pain or death or discomfort. Stress is a physiological and emotional reaction to a tense situation. So that being said, we have to acknowledge that different types of situations with, different meanings and different potential outcomes can produce different types of stress. For example, by the book, there is something called eustress, which is EU stress, right? Spelled EUSTRESS. And eustress is a good type of stress, right? This is a stress that is brought upon by positive changes and growth. So like if you're exercising in the gym, your body is going through eustress. You're going to feel an increased heart rate. You're going to have higher blood pressure. You're going to become more alert and focused. And this is typically regarded as a healthy type of stress. There's also something called distress, right? And that is the bad stress. So people too often just throw the word stress around like it's bad. But really, distress is the bad type that you want to avoid. And this is the type of stress that results from things like low self-confidence, low self-esteem. If you're being criticized by other people and it's really freaking you out, if you're broke and you're worried about money, or, someone you love is very sick and you're scared that bad things are going to happen. That's all distress. That is bad stress that you want to avoid. So now that we understand the two types of stress, we got to ask ourselves, how much do we need and how far should we go to avoid bad stress? So there's some really interesting studies. I'm not going to cite them because I don't feel like putting the time into that. You can go look these up if you'd like. They're pretty popular. I've read about them each in multiple books that I've read. But essentially, there are some studies done where teaching people that stress is actually a good thing. You sit down a group of people and you tell them, look, you're going to get stressed. We're going to make you do some stressful things. However, stress is good. Stress is your body's way of preparing you for the upcoming challenge, right? So if you're about to go on stage and you feel butterflies, right? Oh, I'm stressed. I'm about to go on stage. I'm anxious. That anxiety, that stress is just your body preparing you for a fight or flight situation. Your body knows that you're about to do something difficult, something stressful, something new and uncomfortable. And it's increasing your heart rate. It's increasing your blood pressure. It's making you ready to go. And if you can teach people that that's a good thing, that it's natural and that stress should be embraced, their self-reported stress levels actually decrease, right? Compared to a control group who wasn't taught that. So you take two groups of people, you leave one alone, and you teach the other one that stress is a good thing and that it's their body just getting them ready to go. You put them in the same situations, and the group that you taught to respect and appreciate stress did better. They had lower stress levels. And again, what does this come back to? Mindset. I cannot overstate how important this is, people. Mindset is everything. When you talk to yourself like you're a victim, oh, I have anxiety. Oh, I have episodes. Oh, I get triggered by things. Oh, I'm so stressed. I'm swamped. I'm overwhelmed. You talk yourself into a rut, right? There's only 3 feet of difference between a rut and a grave. Stop talking to yourself like you're a victim. If you talk to yourself like stress is good, you're getting ready to do something. Life is hard, okay? I've been broke. I went into debt twice. I know what it feels like to be worried about bills when you have kids, okay? I know what that feels like. But it's a challenge. I looked at it differently. I changed the way that I looked at my stress. My body knows this is hard. My brain knows this is hard. And it's getting me ready to go. I feel this way because something is wrong. I should fix it. Change the way you look at your stress. I guarantee it'll change your life if you do it right. So another interesting study about stress involves amoebas, those little microscopic organisms that I think they live in water, right? They're very small. So you have a bunch of amoebas, right? And these researchers wanted to figure out, they wanted to study optimal growing conditions for life on Earth, for an organism, right? So they took these amoebas, they put them in different groups, and one group was in a tank that had perfect conditions for life, perfect pH, perfect salt balance, perfect temperature, right? You know, everything was ideal for life. And then they took another group and they put this group of amoebas in a tank where they were constantly messing with stuff. They were constantly screwing up this environment. They would turn the pH up and then they'd turn it down, make it acidic, make it basic. They would turn the temperature up, they'd turn the temperature down. They'd pour a bunch of salt in there, they'd remove all the salt, they'd, not enough nutritions, not enough food. They would mess with all kinds of factors and variables and just make life really difficult for the amoebas living in this tank. And by the end of the study, they found that the group of amoebas living in the tank that was all messed up and constantly changing was healthier. They were growing faster, they were growing bigger, and they were reproducing more successfully than the group that was in optimal conditions. So, okay, let's clear some stuff out of the way. Yes, these are microscopic organisms. They're not humans. Their lives are very simple. Humans tend to have complicated lives. How much of that complication is due to ourselves and the way we think? I don't know. I'm not here to argue that. And I'm not here to say that this study translates directly to humans. But just think about the implications. Organisms that constantly are under stress and have to change and adapt and problem solve and find creative solutions where the strongest are rewarded, right? In an environment where organisms have to adapt or they die, they end up being better and stronger. Clearly, this is just a laboratory example of natural selection. And, you can say whatever you want to say about that. But think about yourself. When were the days that you felt the best? Right? When were the moments of your life when you felt most proud of yourself? You felt most accomplished. You felt like you were tough. You felt like you were strong, like you were smart and capable. Think about those days. Were they days when you spent 18 hours working? Maybe you did a really difficult physical task. You had to do some yard work. My parents own a small farm with horses, and every summer we have to bring in wagons of hay. And one summer it was just me and one other friend, Isaac, and me and Isaac unloaded 4 trailers of hay. It was like 400 or 500 bales, and these bales are like 30, 40 pounds or something like that crazy. We did it all by ourselves. It took us like 6 hours. I felt great after that day. I slept so well. I was proud of myself. I was sore the next day, and I loved it. I felt much better that day than I did on a day when I spent sitting on the couch all day, feeling bad for myself, thinking about my problems, watching Netflix and eating comfort food. You'll always feel better on days when you're tested, on days when you do something hard, when you exercise your self-discipline, you honor your commitments, and you earn credibility with yourself. Just like those amoebas that have to figure out how to fix the pH and the salt and, not die, that's you. You've got to figure out how to not die. Don't let your soul die. Don't let your emotions die. Don't let your self-confidence die. Don't let your self-respect die by acting like a victim, by acting like someone who can't control their circumstances, by pretending that external forces are controlling your internal world, because they don't have to. Are you experiencing eustress or distress? Are you looking at stress as a positive, natural reaction from your body's biology that's preparing you for the difficulties of life, or are you viewing it as some sort of insurmountable force that's holding you down? Poor you. Are you enjoying the difficult days where you spend your time tackling challenges and slowly moving towards goals, experiencing fulfillment from testing yourself? Or are you just avoiding all types of discomfort because, you've never really proved to yourself that you could do anything anyways? Which one? Which one's it going to be, people? I'm going to end with this. As an entrepreneur, as a weightlifter, as a fitness enthusiast, as someone who enjoys self-development, as a father, a husband, as anything, your energy is your most valuable resource. It's sacred. Your energy is what moves you every day. It determines your happiness. When you're low energy, when you're depressed, when you're stressed, when you're worn out, are you happier or more miserable? You're probably more miserable. Your energy determines everything. Every single day that goes by where you are not managing your stress, you will have less energy. The less energy you have, the fewer things you get done. The fewer things you get done, the less satisfied you are with your life. The less satisfied you are with your life, the less happier you are, the more depressed you are. It's a positive feedback cycle that will feed into itself and exacerbate all of the things that you think are wrong with your life. So manage your stress, control your energy, and continue to move forward and push yourself. Okay? You guys can do this. If you enjoyed these videos, if you think my talks, my advice is interesting or helpful at all, leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I try to upload every single day of the week. I talk about entrepreneurship, mindset, and health and fitness all the time. I'm here for you guys. If you want to learn more about what I do, go to www.andrewwuellner.com. I'm around, and if you want to ask me questions for the Ask Coach Andrew series, use the email down in the description, shoot me your question, and I will answer it in a video. And tell me whether or not you want me to say your name. That's it. We'll talk soon, guys. Have a great day.